Hi, this is Wesley.
And I'm Shane.
And you're listening to In Between the Lines. Hey, do you want to know something?
What?
When to save, safe to win.
Can I get an explanation on that?
Sure. Basically, I don't know why I reversed this in my head, but apparently now I'm Bakugo and apparently now you're Izuku. Weird how that works.
I guess so, yeah.
So, guys, we're going to be talking about My Hero Academia. We haven't spoken in a long time.
It's been a while since the last time. But hey, we can bond over our love for My Hero again.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, there's so much to talk about now. Since last time we talked, so much has happened.
Oh yeah. Also, I'm going to say this now. We might be spoiling some of the manga, because that's probably what we're going to be talking about.
There is no might.
We will.
This is the moment. This is your warning.
So, those of you who have not read the manga, just head out. Just
go. Just shoot. Get.
If you don't care about spoilers, then you guys can stay. But other than that, we are just going to be going full in on the manga.
There's so much that's changed over time. Like, just imagine, let's say, like, a year or two ago reading this, we'd be where we're at now. It's just how the story is, like, just drastically changed.
Oh, yeah. Because the last time that we talked, I think we were at the start of the war? If memory serves? I think we were...
We were at, the last time when we did the Greek Academia, I think we were just out when they were seizing the hospital. And the doctor was on the run.
Yeah.
And then so
Fujiko
much happened afterwards.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Shigaraki broke free. Like, we didn't think that was actually going to happen.
I figured something like that was going to happen. But I guess it's like how you and I've talked about on the phone before. I think I love the way it happened, but the only thing that bugged me was the back and forth of, is he going to win? Is he going to lose? Is he going to win? Is he going to lose? I think that's the only part. But yeah, so, like, let's say what happened. The villains got away.
Yep.
Destroyed a lot of the cities. A lot of pro heroes died, including ones that you're like, oh, I don't...
Because there were some that were, like, not really all that focused on, and you were like there was that one dude, Crust, and I was like... Granted, I didn't really like him at first, but then, like, seeing him sacrifice himself to save Aizawa, I was like, it kind of hurt, and I was like, oh no.
Let's see, because my biggest thing is, because I also went back and was, because I'm currently caught up, so there's, like, a big drought in content for it right now, as you wait for each weekly update. Yeah. Which we won't be getting this week, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because Shonen Jump is going on a break.
Yep. Sorry, Jujutsu Kaisen will be even further along. It's in the May. It's like, oh no, don't do this to me. But yeah, I was re-looking at some of the older clips as I was working on like papers and stuff, and the amount of heroes in those clips that are happy, like in those happy clips, you're like are dead now. There's so many side characters or side pro heroes that you're like, oh, they're dead.
Oh yeah,
they're gone. And I think I really like that because I was afraid my hero wouldn't pull punches.
Oh yeah.
Or would pull punches, excuse me, Frank, or stated it wrong. Would pull punches and wouldn't kill. No! Horikoshi did not pull punches. He just went for it.
I think that's the one thing that I like because I remember, like, when we had got into that, we were like, he's. I was like, I remember at first when you got to that point where like, the heroes aren't gonna die. The heroes aren't gonna die, and then. Frame one, someone ended up dead, and we were like, "Oh snap! He's not pulling his punches. We actually got into this."
Because that's my biggest gripe with anime as in general, or even like how you've heard me talk about fantasy books or any books in general. When there's like a big battle, I hate when people come like everyone comes out okay.
Yeah,
because that's not how it works. Unfortunately, real life, a lot of people die. My only pet peeve with it on like the villain side is. many of the main cast of villains died, except for Obiguari, which was really sad. But I expected a lot more villains to die than what happened, or to get captured, and that's just not what happened.
A lot of them did get captured.
And then they got released.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big, like, I'm not upset about it, and I don't think it was bad writing. It's just, I did expect, especially with, what's his name? Compress.
Mr. Compress?
Mr. Compress.
Yeah.
I expected him not to make it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then he makes him he just took a large chunk of flesh out of his body. But, like, don't get me wrong, though, I still enjoyed the whole war. But I think the war went on for so long that people were so tired of it.
Yeah.
Because now it's so refreshing to see past the war. But I have to relook at the war arc again, but it was so good.
The war, like, it was long. Like, don't get me wrong. It was long as hell, but I enjoyed every minute of it.
Because I looked over again, it started around March of last year. Yeah.
And
it spanned until, like, what, September?
I want to say September, maybe October.
Yeah. It spanned almost half a year.
It always kept us, like, on the edge of our seat, because we're like, I remember there'd be times where you and me would be talking, we're like, yo, I'm not sure if people gonna be making it out of this alive.
I don't know. It's so weird to watch where we last left off and what's happened so far, because that's the main thing. I'm just trying not to get caught up in one thing too much, because there's so much more that's happened now.
We can even, like, talk about, like, some of the conversation, like, some of those, like, deep conversations that have happened, like the one with Toga, and she's like, oh, well, you know, are the heroes gonna, you know, take me out as well, since I'm considered a villain? And she's like, I want to go speak to this with Deku and Ochiko. Yeah. And Ochiko's like, I'm going to take you out no matter how many times. And I'm like, okay, that's not really the answer she was looking for.
Yeah, there was a big miscommunication. That. And I'm just like, oh, this is not going to be good. Because I think that's the best thing about what My Hero was able to do in the short time since we talked, was we had already been, like, thrown into the villains like, villain side, and we saw their stories. And then now we're just literally watching two parties that we followed for most of the series just collide, and now we're just seeing both sides affected by it. Yeah. And, oh god, it's really good. This is, I won't lie, I'm really picky on anime. I just can't watch anything. I'm really picky. And that's why I really like My Hero, because normally I'm not big into shonen, but I have to admit, it's pretty good. But yeah, there's, like, the conversation, a lot of the imagery, like, especially also, I guess I can say it because I've said it in person, but I haven't said it on the recording. We called it, but we didn't call it on the Hans.
Oh, true.
We were technically right. He just didn't die. His wings were literally burned off. I can say that now because we're recording and it's official. I was right.
You want to explain that for them?
During the My Hero Academia Greek episode we did, we made parallels between Icarus and Hawks, and I thought it meant he was going to die.
Oh yeah,
I was kind of right.
The fact that we were like, oh, you know how Icarus flew too close to the sun.
Yeah, and then plummeted. Yeah. I thought that's what was going to happen, and I was kind of right. He lost his wings.
Yeah.
But he didn't. I think he has them now.
He's slowly starting to get them back.
So, am I disappointed by that? No, I kind of like Hawks as a character. Did I think that's where he was going to go symbolically? Yes. Yeah. But I'll take my wins. I was right on Dabi. Dabi one. I was right from, like, what? I think it was the first time you and I talked about My Hero. It was like the Dabi theory.
Yep.
I was all in it. Like, that's it. This has to be. And then the Dabi theory got proven correct. I was like,
I think because you and me were like, Dabi, definitely Todoroki, and we were like, oh yeah. And I remember there was times where, like, you and me, like, we'd be sitting on campus, and then we're just like, oh, you know what, yo, Wes, pull up your phone, and then we're just sitting there going through, we're like, there he is, and they're like, flashback, that's him right there.
Yep. There's there are, like, I've seen where manga just dump things on you. It has been a year period since we last, like, did an episode. Well, it's been over a year period since the last time we actually talked about My Hero.
Yeah.
So I did expect this episode to be like a just amalgamation and a forceful cramming of everything at once. There's so much. We have the Dabi reveal.
Yep.
We have the reveal that Shigaraki and All for One are now connected more than they were beforehand.
Yep.
We got a lot of views into the villain side. We had a lot of shaking up of the social order on the hero side with a lot of heroes.
A lot of heroes are starting to retire.
Starting to either not be able to do their job anymore. Mm-hmm. We see a big shift in the big three. Where they're more involved with society than they used to be. We had the reveal that Best Jeanist was not dead.
That kind of surprised me for like the longest time. Because I remember you and me were like, he ain't dead, right? And then we actually saw the body. We're like,
I think it's the one.
I remember at first we were like, because remember at first all we saw was the bag,
mm-hmm.
and we didn't know what was in the bag. And we were like, yeah, he isn't dead. And then the bag opens, and we're just like, that ain't him, right?
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. I like Best Jeanist as a character.
Yeah.
But I really thought they had killed them all. So
yeah.
Then they just kind of revealed them last minute in the hero arc or
mm-hmm.
the war arc.
Yeah.
It's like, the Trump card. Yeah, coming
plane, and I was like,
diving in from the helicopter with these big spools of denim. And it's like, oh, okay, this is how they capture him. And then he still doesn't capture him. It's like, why did we reveal Best Jeanist is alive?
True. And then I was like, because then I was also thinking to myself, I was like, wait a minute. But didn't you have like a gaping hole in your chest due to All for One?
There was but it has been a period of time since.
Yeah. And then even the pilot was like, hey, you're not healed, you're not full up to 100%. Yeah. And I was like, something must have happened to you.
That reveal was really good.
Even the Muriel reveal was really good.
Okay. You and I are probably going to conflict on that one because I was a little disappointed that he got his power. Well, okay. I don't know if he got his powers back permanently.
That's the thing, because I don't know if it's permanent or if it's only for a set period of time.
See, that's what I thought was happening is Erie's learned to kind of reset it for a short period of time.
That's what I think is probably.
And someone's going to want to wring my neck because I don't like Mirio back.
Mm.
I like Mirio as a character. Yeah. I really do. My issue with Mirio is he's so OP.
Oh, yeah.
His power is not OP. I get, that's the whole balancing. It's just the way how
he uses it.
It's the way he uses it that, even, we saw in early on when they were doing the raid on, I almost said Shigaraki, but,
Jack.
Huh?
The hospital. Jack.
No, Further back. Okay. He's my favorite villain. I can't remember his name. Overhaul,
yeah.
When the raid on Overhaul kind of showed how kind of powerful and unstoppable his power. I mean, he could be countered, but yeah. So I kind of hope it's not permanent because that is. I mean, if it is, whatever. Yeah. They can deal with it because no offense, Deku's also kind of climbing their power now. Smoke screen, everything else with him. I kind of hope that it's not permanent because that poses that Eri can reverse things, and well, I understand that's where it's going.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see Eri get to that point. I don't want it that quick because we just hit a point where things are starting to go good for the villains, bad for society.
Yeah.
And then we're kind of already introducing reverse quirks. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like it though. But we haven't seen him since his fight, so I have no idea. I thought they would at least show it or show Eri.
Yeah, because they should we got a little bit of a flashback to Eri, and she's like, oh, I've been training for this, and I'm like, but how far did your training actually go though?
I think that's my biggest issue if I'm gonna air one issue. I know I've been saying issues, and the actual only one that gets me is there's a lot of things we don't see.
Yeah. And that just happens off screen.
Yeah. And while I understand My Hero has a large cast that Hirokoshi's pretty much juggling for our amusement, and he's doing a really good job at it. There are times I feel like, especially recently, he's kind of gone back to Deku, which I like.
Oh yeah.
But especially during the war arc and the build up to the war arc, there was a lot of characters just kind of being juggled off screen
Yeah.
to make the plot a little easier or the progression a little easier. And that's why I think the Mario reveal just did not work for me. Is I didn't know you could do it. Not until it was like, oh, he's jumping through things and it does the flashback.
Because like during that entire like scene, I was like, because first I was like, well, how are we gonna get out of this? Because you know, I was like, someone needs to back up Best Jeanist. Bakugo was already doing his best, and then I'm like, well, Deku can't really do anything because he's already like, he hasn't really like crippled himself, but now he just can't move. And I'm like, Jeanist might die on this one, and then all I see is a face, and I'm like, that's not Mirio. That's not me. I was like, and then I immediately thought, oh, it's probably Toga, because since she can transform into other people, and I was like, oh, it's probably Toga. But then I'm like, how the heck did Toga get a hold of Mirio's blood?
Oh man, yeah, that is a big thing, part of the war arc. I also the Dobby reveal, I love it.
The Dobby reveal was actually really good.
It was. I thought it was weird too because he just goes, "It's me, dumb slight."
Hair dye,
hair dye removal. It doesn't work that quick, but he's just like, I was like, it's not that quick, but hey, whatever. I like white-haired Dobby too, though. It looks really good. But let's see what else. Like,
I just found that funny. He was just like, "It's me, boy."
Yeah, it's like, it's me, Dad. And it's like, I mean, I kind of already knew, but I didn't expect you just to dump it on your head and be like, "Come get me." We had. Oh god, that's another thing. Like again, this episode's nothing but trying to condense a year into like 30 to 40 minutes. Just like, But we also had the Toya versus Shota. Shoto. I get because I just learned Aizawa's name too is Shota.
Shota, yeah.
So it's like Shota, no Shoto, Shota, no Shoto, no Shota. But
you gotta sit there.
Yeah,
and
you're like,
think about it.
They're not even similar. That's what gets me every time. It's like they're not even similar characters. But we had the Shoto versus Toya fight, which was really good.
That was good. I like that.
It shows that Toya was definitely the strongest one of the family. Let's see. Then we had the loss of Aizawa's leg.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt.
I knew it was gonna happen though. I knew something, and Aizawa is like each of the arcs so far. I was kind of looking back in preparation for this episode. He always gets really hurt trying to protect the kids. So I was like, oh, this is gonna get really bad. I expected him to be hurt.
I thought he was just gonna lose, just because I remember Shigaraki had reached out to Aizawa, and I was like, he's gonna lose both of his eyes. And I was like, you already messed up one. Now my dude has to use eye drops to sit there and get the rest out. Yeah. I was just like, you're gonna make this man completely blind.
Yep.
And then, no, he decides, I'm
flick the bullet.
Even when he flicked the bullet, I was like, that's not gonna hit him. That's not gonna hit him. It's probably gonna hit Manuel or someone else.
I knew it was gonna hit him.
Hit him straight in the leg. The one thing I will say, Aizawa showed no hesitation.
Yep.
And he was just like, okay, chop off my leg. And I was like, okay, that's where we're going with this.
Well, it didn't surprise me. He didn't hesitate because he knew the cost.
Yeah.
If he couldn't keep Shigaraki down, it was going to be really bad.
Oh, yeah. And especially with the whole, how fast he was, regenerating and whatnot.
Yep. Yeah. Because,
even without, I also want to post something to you. Mm-hmm. So even without One for All, or All for One, Shigaraki's still a beast.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up, that he was still able to 1v 5 without powers, just tanking the hits, and it's like, okay. Because Aizawa's quirk couldn't even stop his healing. It slowed his healing down, but it didn't fully stop it, so you're kind of getting the gist of how powerful he's becoming, because Deku can still be just stopped.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about now. I have a feeling Smokescreen would be an interesting idea to counter someone's quick stopping ability. So I think that's why I thought.
Plus, it would dumb down their visibility.
Yeah.
Up too.
But yeah, that was also Shigaraki's big power boost. I mean, and even then, going past, I'm trying to think if there's anything else in the war arc we need to cover before like just moving on, because there's so much that happens there. But I can't think. But yeah, he loses his leg.
Yeah.
But I knew he was going to do it because he could not allow himself to like his quirk to stop.
Oh yeah.
And it does show that it's pretty much like a shot. If you just cut off the stream, it's fine. I'm surprised they didn't just like, oh yeah, it makes sense why they cut it off, because there was no way they could stop it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Shigaraki was able to just 1v5, and then after he got his powers back, go right back at Deku. And of course, leading to that, we also had the last few things of the war arc is Deku got float and danger sense.
True.
Like at the close to the same time.
Also, Gran Torino kind of.
Oh god, yeah, I forgot about that. There's so much that happens.
I remember you and me were like, Gran Torino has to die at some point in this.
I thought he was gonna die.
Because he got punched straight through the chest.
He's well, okay. I won't say he's still alive. He's hanging on.
He's hanging on. Yeah.
But I don't know if that's. I don't know how long it's going. If he comes back, I'm not gonna be too upset about it. Gran Torino was a really good character. He's very much like, you can tell Horikoshi loves Star Wars because he's definitely the Yoda figure.
Yeah.
But I thought, like Yoda, and again, this is another prediction I make based off of the stuff he's inspired by. And I used the source material too, like, strictly, as I did with the Icarus and Hawks. I don't know if he will die, like how, I mean, Yoda dies, but Yoda dies differently.
Yeah.
Spoiling for a movie that's like 30 years old now, 40 years old.
Somewhere around
that. But he might come back.
I feel like he might.
He's just really bad, but he's really old too. So, yeah, Gran Torino got really hurt. Deku got 2 of the abilities, and then learned how to coil Black Whip around his arms.
Which was really smart on his part.
Yep.
Bakugo got skewered.
Skewered, yeah.
Yep.
And then I think that's kind of the big points. I mean, yeah, oh, well, okay, no,
we did lose a teacher.
We lost. Oh yeah, Midnight.
Yep.
Lady Midnight died.
That was kind of heartbreaking.
Oh, what's his name? The Wood Hero. Kamui. Kamui might be in really bad shape because Davi just poofed him out of the air.
True.
Mount Lady is pretty bad.
Yeah, but
so
you can tell she's still willing to put it to work.
So we lost a teacher along with the main heroes. And then we also, Tartarus was broken into, as we said it would.
Yep.
I did not expect Overhaul to appear again.
That is true.
I did expect Stain to appear.
Yeah, oh yeah, Stain obviously. And I still want to see that conversation between All Might and Stain.
I want another conversation between Deku and Stain.
Yeah.
The first one was interesting because he protected Deku from the Nomu. So I'd love to get them back in the room again.
Oh, that would.
The same room again. I'd love to see him with All Might, especially current All Might, not the All Might he remembers.
Yeah.
We also got introduced, although briefly, she had a small appearance without any like name put to her, but one of the inmates, there was a female inmate that got a lot of attention.
Yeah.
For no reason. So I have a feeling she's going to be important somehow, or maybe I'm looking too far into it.
No, I think you're right, because I remember when we got that small panel of her when she was running away.
She lets Overhaul out.
Yeah, and at first everyone was like, "Oh, she's the one who started the prison break." I was like, "Nah, I don't think so."
Yeah, but yeah, Tartarus and a bunch of other prisons are broken into by Shigaraki and All for One.
Yeah.
We do have Overhaul return. I'm kind of interested in whether Overhaul's with the girl or not, because that's the last thing we did see.
Yeah.
And then she just disappeared.
She's just out.
I mean, Horikoshi has put emphasis on random people before like that, but she had distinctive like haircut. She had a distinctive like small little part. So I'm thinking maybe she'll come back.
I'm pretty sure.
I would like to, especially with what we're getting to now with Deku's inevitable lone wolf. Or like lone wolf
or we can basically we can chop it up to Deku has now become Batman.
Kinda, yeah. A little nicer than Batman. But but we have the major prison breaks, and then all of Japan, or MHA's version of Japan has been just sunk into chaos.
Oh yeah.
And now we're kind of caught up to where we are, where we find out as the hospital stays, a lot of the pro heroes they haven't made up, but the Todoroki family has kind of at least formed some sort of, I say alliance because it's not a bond.
Yeah.
Between the mother and the other kids.
Pretty much like an agreement.
Yeah, they pretty much have an agreement to go stop Toya.
And at least Ray came in and she was
that was such a good part to start with.
Yeah, because at least she came in and she was like, yo, we messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, at first I thought she was going to be like, you messed up. But then once you actually see it and you can tell that like, it's not only all on Endeavor, but it's also on Ray as well. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay. But then one thing that I also realized is in that flashback when she's on the phone talking with, I think she was talking like with her mom.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, she was talking about Shoto.
Yeah.
But she was relating it to Toya.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I remember when we first got that for the sports festival, we were like, oh, she's talking about Endeavor. And we were like, but now seeing it, you're just like, oh.
Yeah, because I was actually in a conversation with my brother, because my brother also reads it.
Yeah.
And him and I were like, yeah, we can't just blame one parent. Mm-hmm. Neither parent really knew how to help Toya.
Yeah.
Because we got into the argument on whether helping him become a hero would have done so much better than just saying, no, don't use your quirk. Because while I get his quirk was really dangerous to himself, just telling him no didn't do anything.
Yeah.
It made it worse. So I'm wondering if they would have found some way to help him.
Oh, yeah. I feel like, because, like, even with, like, all, like, the like, different, like, flashes that, like, Endeavor was having, of having Toya actually be right next to All Might. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, if you would have helped him, like, further that, he could have turned out so much better.
I think the most defining moment, though, because it makes me laugh, but it's also really dark, is the moment when it's, like, child Toya decides to flame swat baby Shoto out of his mother's arms. It's so funny when you think about it. He just looked at the baby, bet. And didn't get close to him.
He said, you want your prized possession? Okay, I got you.
Oh, like, I love that we got to see more of Dabi. I understand we can't do it all, but I wish there was more. I definitely wish we'd get more time with some of the other heroes. Like, we've been getting the Dabi treatment, but we're kind of back at this moment. Back to Deku, which I'm kind of glad, because for a while, from before War Arc to War Arc, or the Hero Arc to War Arc, we didn't get a whole lot of Deku. There was
getting like a more majority
other
of
everyone else. Yeah, and we weren't getting Deku, and then now we're getting a lot of Deku and no one else, which I'm fine with, because that kind of fits what's going on. I mean, we're getting other people. It's we have no idea.
But the main focus is on Deku.
Yeah, which I'm cool with, because he is the main character. We kind of have to follow him. Yeah. But yeah, I think where it's going now, we're kind of done having the bigger scale. I mean, we're gonna go back to that bigger scale at some point. Yeah. But yeah, because I don't think we're gonna do a hero or villain arc or follow the villains for a while, because that's kind of the big threat right now, is where they're at. Yeah, because the one thing I also wanted to mention was that I just realized the time that we also got to start wrapping up. Yeah. But because it was something that clicked in my head, and it was about Spinner. Like, when you see Shigaraki off one, taking over Shigaraki, and Spinner says, "You aren't the guy that I decided to follow." Yeah. So if Horikoshi decides to go back to the villains, that might be something. Oh yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of upheaval between them, because I think Spinner's the first example of they were following Shigaraki, not All for One, and All for One's definitely kind of controlling everything. So yeah, there's definitely going to be an upheaval, but I think where we're at now, My Hero, just from what a lot of people dislike the War Arc, I think and they see it as kind of a plateauing. While yes, some of it plateaued, I think we're still just going up. Oh yeah, we're getting there. I think we're past the climax of the story, though. We're very much past. That war was the climax of the story, at least in my opinion. I think that's what it will be. But yeah, where we are now, just with all Deku going solo, working with Hawks, or the big three, and All Might, and kind of learning his powers, I'm really interested to see where we're going from here, because there's just so much that's happened, and there's so much more that's going to be happening. Oh yeah. So yeah. Well, I think we're going to end it here. But before we leave, you guys do two things. First, I need you guys to like and subscribe. Don't look at me like that. Hit that like button. Hit not subscribe. God, all EA treatment.
So, thank you guys, and I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to In Between the Lines.